Welcome back to the Unplanned Path, Part 2 from our series, Chronicles of Rideshare Drivers, Toronto edition. If you missed the first part, you can catch up on our YouTube channel, Duality Hub. Now, let's get right back into it. I remember the exact moment the phone rang. It was one of those random mid-drive buzzes that just snaps you out of your rhythm. My phone lit up with the rideshare support number, and honestly, I thought it was just a glitch, maybe the GPS acting up again. But the second I answered, the agent's tone told me this wasn't a routine call. Are you okay right now? That question alone shifted something in my chest. I answered, yeah, I'm okay. Why? There was this heavy pause. The passenger in your vehicle reached out, the agent said. She's uncomfortable and wants to confirm everything's all right. She says the route doesn't match the GPS. My stomach dropped. For a second, the road in front of me just blurred. I blinked myself back into focus. She called you. I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Yes, the agent replied. She just wants to feel safe. Safe. That one word hit harder than anything else. I swallowed hard and tried to explain. Tell her I was avoiding tolls to save her money. That's all. I can pull over if she wants to end the trip. She's requesting to stop, the agent said softly. Please find a safe spot. And that was it. The moment you can't undo. I ended the call and glanced in the rearview mirror. She was staring out the window, completely still, but so tense. It felt like even breathing too loudly would crack the silence between us. I got the call, I said quietly. You'd like to stop? She hesitated for a moment, then said, yeah. I wasn't sure what was going on. You kept changing the route. Her voice wasn't rude, it was just scared. I just nodded. No problem. The silence that followed was thick. Not angry, just heavy, like a wall had built itself between two strangers who never meant each other any harm. I saw a Petro-Canada gas station up ahead and turned off the highway. As I parked, she gathered her things slowly. Before stepping out of the car, she looked at me and said softly, I'm sorry. I got scared. I managed a tired smile. I get it. She walked toward the bright lights of the gas station and disappeared inside. I called support back, told them she was safe, and ended the trip. The app flashed. Trip canceled by passenger. Rating affected. I just sat there. I wasn't angry, just filled with that deep heaviness that comes when your heart was in the right place, but someone else only felt fear. The drive after that felt empty, not the road me. I stayed parked for a while, just watching the headlights streak past like tiny, silent apologies. The whole situation replayed in my mind on a loop. Every turn I took, every moment of silence, every single chance I had to communicate, but didn't. Good intentions don't always land. Sometimes they just get lost in someone else's fear. And if I'm being honest from her perspective, it probably looked bad. Unfamiliar roads, night driving, a quiet driver, detours she didn't understand. She didn't know me. All she had was her trust. And unintentionally, I had shaken it. That humbled me. Eventually, I pulled out of the station and got back on the highway, but I couldn't take another ride. My shift wasn't over, but I just didn't have the heart for more faces that night. So I just drove with no destination, letting the road calm me down. The 401 at night is a strange friend. It's wide, cold, and honest. Sign after sign passed by. Milton, Mississauga, Toronto. Familiar, steady. I thought about my kids. How one day they'll face moments just like this, moments where someone misunderstands the good they were trying to do. It's just part of life, I guess. At some point, I caught my reflection in the mirror. I looked calm on the outside, but I knew the truth, that quiet disappointment that comes from meaning well, but completely missing the mark. I heard my dad's voice in my head, clear as day. People don't see your heart. They hear your words, and I whispered to myself, you should have just explained. By the time I reached the city again, a gospel song was playing on the radio, the kind you hear at the exact moment you need it most. The lyrics went, you are working even when I don't see it. And it settled something deep inside me. I parked under a streetlight downtown and watched a couple walk by, laughing softly. Life just kept moving. The city stayed beautiful. And in that simple moment, the truth became so clear. It's not about being right. It's about being understood. I wasn't misunderstood because I meant harm. I was misunderstood because I didn't speak when it mattered the most. I sat there a little longer, then whispered to myself, lesson learned, and drove home. The next morning, the whole thing still lingered. Not painfully, just like an echo that wanted my attention. I made coffee and watched the sunlight stretch across the kitchen floor. And the question finally settled in my mind: how did avoiding a toll road, a small kindness, turn into fear? It's because intentions aren't enough. People need understanding, not assumptions. She didn't know my heart. All she knew was that we weren't following the GPS, and at night, unfamiliar roads can feel like danger. Fear fills in the blanks much faster than logic ever can. And me? I was so focused on being helpful that I completely forgot she needed reassurance, not just savings. I realized that night wasn't about ratings or customer service, it was about human awareness. In my nursing career, I've seen it 1,000 times. Patients might forget what you did, but they will always remember how safe you made them feel. Driving isn't any different. Every single ride is a small trust exchange. Two strangers choosing to believe the other one means well. I used to think that trust comes from consistency, but now I know it also comes from those micro moments, a quick explanation, a transparent word, a small reassurance. So now, before I even start driving, I say, hey, just so you know, I'll be avoiding tolls unless you want otherwise, just keeping you in the loop. And instantly, that wall just disappears. That's the thing about life lessons. They rarely come softly. They come wrapped up as embarrassment, inconvenience, or misunderstandings. But if you sit with them, they eventually turn into clarity. I learned something important that night on the highway to Kitchener. Doing good quietly. It's always enough. Sometimes people need to see you're good. Because silence can feel comfortable to you, but incredibly unsettling to someone else. And in a world that's already heavy with fear and confusion, a few honest words can be the difference between panic and peace. So now, whenever the GPS reroutes or the night feels long, I remind myself, speak, explain, reassure. Kindness only truly reaches someone when it's understood. Thanks for watching and listening. If this story resonated with you, please give it a like and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave your comments down below. Until next time.